Right now, as I speak, millions and millions of drivers are saving money on their car insurance with GEICO. If you're one of those drivers, well done. If you're not, it's easy to join them. Visit geico.com today.
Joining us on the line now is a teammate of one of those running backs, Barry Sanders. He was the quarterback for Oklahoma State back in 1988 and in our Hall of Fame as well. Now the head coach of the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Welcome to the show, Mike Gundy. Coach, welcome to the show. You're on with Bruce and Mark.
Coach Bruce Binkowski here. We're going to talk about your quarterbacking in the 1988 Holiday Bowl in a second, but tell us first of all, since we just talked about Barry Sanders, what kind of a teammate was Barry, and how was he for you as a quarterback to hand that ball off to such a prolific running back?
He was a very unusual teammate. He never really talked. He didn't socialize much outside of being around our team. You never saw him really out on campus other than when he was in class. Very, very humble and appreciative for everything that he had here, because nobody really recruited him, us and Iowa State and Tulsa, I believe. But I've always said that I had the greatest view ever in handing him the football and standing behind him on ground level and watching him run. And I was each week just continued to get amazed at his ability to make players miss and look like they'd never attempted to tackle anybody in their life. And they were playing in a major conference in the college football.
And I saw that firsthand, Coach. I was the PR director of the Holiday Bowl in those days, and he was 3 yards away from a record heading into the fourth quarter, and they dispatched me to go down on the field to literally tell him that you're almost to a Holiday Bowl record. Would you like to go back in? And he very humbly said, "No, thanks. I want to give somebody else an opportunity." That's the way Barry Sanders was.
Well, he did that in a league game. We played at Kansas State, ironically. We're playing them Saturday. We played up there, and he was 10 or 12 yards away from breaking George Rogers' single game rushing mark. And they told him, and it was only the third quarter, and he said, "Nah, just let the other guys play." And that's really kind of who he is. And individual awards didn't mean anything to him. He just liked to kind of play the game, liked to be a part of the team.
Coach, now you had a fantastic game as well in that 1988 Holiday Bowl. 20 for 24, which is still, to this day, the highest completion percentage by any quarterback in a Holiday Bowl. 315 yards, 2 touchdowns. What are your memories of that game?
Well, it was a great atmosphere. To start with, we had a great week. San Diego was a beautiful place, and the experience during the week was incredible. And then going into that game, it started out slow. And I remember the game started out fairly close, and then after that, we just opened up and hit some passes, and Barry hit some big runs, and it was a great experience.
He had 45 points scored in the second half of that game.
Hey, Coach, when you played in 1988, and about 20 years later, you come back as the head coach of Oklahoma State in the Holiday Bowl, was it kind of surreal walking out on the field and saying, "Hey, I played here in '88, now I'm here as a head coach"?
It really was. It was neat to have played in a bowl and then have coached in one. And I had my sons with me. I have 3 boys, and for them to come out and experience a bowl game with me as a coach that I played in was a neat experience for me and my wife, who was there also at that time, my girlfriend in college.
And so now, Coach, you've been at the Holiday Bowl as a student athlete. You've been there as a coach. What does the experience, the bowl experience, mean to a student athlete?
It's the one thing that we can never lose. And there's always so many talks about so many people that talk about a playoff system and all the different things that we ultimately want to get to, in somebody's opinion, for a national championship. But the bowl experience is a reward for extremely hard work for the players first, the coaches and their families. And the players work year-round for an opportunity to spend a week in a beautiful place like San Diego. And the coaches' families who don't get to see their dads and the husbands because we go to work the 1st of August, and if there's not an open date, we don't take a day off, and we go in at 7 and go home at 10. And there's a lot of time that we lose with our families, and a bowl opportunity is when we gain that. We get it back with our families. We enjoy the experience, and the players get rewarded for a great season and all the hard work they put in year round.
That's well said, Coach. And thanks so much for spending time with us here today. And we know you have a big game against Kansas State this weekend. We wish you the best of luck at that one. And again, we just talked with head coach Mike Gundy from Oklahoma State. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Hey, thank you.
And you're listening to GEICO'S Bowl Game Radio on the GEICO San Diego Bowl Game Media Network and XX 1090.